Hello YouTube, this is video answering questions number 3. I'm going to be answering questions, look at what to and look at the comments in that section to get a feel for what I'm talking about here. I just cut my hair, can you tell? My hair is so short, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so let's get to it. This is, keeping up with these Japanese lessons is harder than I thought, and I wanted to do one every day, and I could accept catching, it's just, I want to be really correct about the things I do, so pardon me if they're not coming out every day. I will try to answer your questions. I think I'm just going to do my best to stick them out there, even if, especially on this channel, even if they don't, they're not beautifully edited or anything like that. I'm a little, self-conscious about that. I don't want to waste your time, but actually it's making you wait longer, so let's get to it. I have some questions I don't think I answered before. I don't remember answering, so this might be repetitive. Anyway, some people ask me, what is watashi? Watashi is I. One more time, the order of politeness. And I'll write just in Romaji. Watakushi. Watakushi. Watakushi is the most polite level. Then you have watashi. Okay? Then you have boku. Boku is used by most men, and it's kind of friendly, I guess. I've heard that in the business place. I've asked a lot of students about this, and they said, yeah, most guys in the office will say boku, but outside when they're relaxed, they'll say ore. And I thought it was mostly older men, but apparently younger and older men use it, but it's a little bit more impolite. Some people will say it's impolite. I've heard a lot of people say, like, certain things are impolite, like the word kimi, which is you. Well, I'm sorry, let's go back to standard. Standard English, standard Japanese is anata. Anata is you. But some people will say kimi, and kimi is a little bit lower, but friendly, like if, two buds are hanging out, kimi, kimi. And another one is omae. Whoops, not double A. Omae you'll hear a lot, I bet, in manga and stuff, and it's a little bit angry. But it's also used friendly, like, you son of a bitch kind of thing. Omae. Omae wa. Right. And I used it with my ex-girlfriend's brother once when I first met him, and he was kind of shocked, like, hey, you shouldn't use that kind of Japanese. And he was like, oh, you should use proper Japanese. But the other thing you have to remember is a lot of people will tell you can't use things because you're a foreigner and they want you to speak proper Japanese. And one of the most frustrating things about speaking the Japanese here is they often will say, well, you shouldn't learn that Japanese. Don't learn that Japanese, Another way to say, I'm not sure how to spell this word because it's a conversational word, teme. 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 Teme is also like rude, you. Very rude. So, let's go through it verbally. Just listen so I don't have to type. I is watakushi, watashi, boku, ore, and there are more, but you don't need like old men say washi, washi, and I think oira is another old one, oira, but that's really old stuff, so don't worry about that. For you. The best way, of course, is calling someone by name and saying sama. So, for example, if I wanted to address a Swift Dragon 117, I would say Swift Dragon sama. Or let's pick a normal name, Smith sama, Smith sama, Smith, Mr. John Smith, Smith sama. And then, of course, a little more normal would be son, Smith son. And sometimes you'll hear like a kind of a term of endearment, or friendly would be chan, Smith chan. And you'd probably use some more of a first name like Big Chan. When I was younger here, people would call me Big Chan. Big, and yes, the V is not pronounced V. It's Big Chan. And I forgot what it's called, but when you don't add san to something, you just call someone's name. Something ste. I forget. Anyway, like Big, just your name, right? And then of course, then we go to the use like anata. Anata is also, it's weird because some women use it to address their husband this way. So it's kind of like dear, like you, anata. But it's also just standard you, anata. And then we have kimi, as I just said. And then we have omae, and that's a little bit impolite, I wouldn't use it. And then teme. Teme is very rude, so I wouldn't use that either. Unless you're angry. Nani itteru omae? What are you saying, son of a bitch? I'll give you one quick one. Nani itteru omae? What are you saying, man? What are you talking to me? What are you saying? Nani itteru omae? Nani is what? Itteru is what are you saying? What are you saying, man? What are you saying, you son of a bitch? Nani itteru omae? Nani itteru omae? Nani itteru omae would be angry way to address someone. Why am I teaching this? It's fun, right? Okay, someone asked me, Jiba or Iba, I'm not sure how you say your name, asked me, how do you say R? How do you pronounce the letter R in Japanese? The alphabet, the hiragana alphabet goes ra, ri, rurero is the pronunciation. Rarirurero. These are the characters. And I'll just show you what they look like. Ra in hiragana. Ra, ri. Sorry. Ra, ri, ru. This is going to be badly edited, but it'll save you time because you don't have to wait. Rarirurero. Right? Ra. So here you go. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. And there is no real la. Like the R in Japanese is kind of a mixture. I think it's closer to R. Rarirurero. You can decide. I'm pronouncing it correctly. Rarirurero. That's the R. Okay. Now a lot of people have asked me about the des. You know, des, and what exactly does it mean? Well, you know, this is hiragana, katakana, hiragana, romaji for des. Well, you know, I mean. It's a verb ending. It's just the way things end. And apparently in Korean it's very similar. The end of the grammar in Japanese is the last word is usually the verb. Okay, and if you're going to say like I ate a cat, like like Emily always says. I don't know if she always says that, but she talks about eating cats or something. Watashi wa, I don't know. She has snacks in her cats in her thing. Watashi wa neko o tabemashita. I'm going to be jumping ahead by showing you some weird, well, not weird, but new stuff. Like I said, I'm sorry, these videos, it's easier for me just to goof them up, just to do them, make you wait, instead of editing, because I'll get them out. Okay, so what I'm reading here is watashi wa neko wo tabemashita. And this is the verb. Tabemashita. Taberu, I'll write it here. Taberu is to eat, right? Now in the previous sentence, watashi wa neko tabemashita, you notice the last word is the verb, right? I ate a cat, right? Watashi wa neko wo tabemashita. Now, in this case, it's ending in ta because that's the past tense. Ta is past tense. The verb is actually tabemasu, which is a standard verb. The dictionary, if you look in the dictionary, you're going to find taberu, but all these are the verbs, right? Anyway, just so you don't get confused, taberu is the actual verb. You look in the dictionary, standard present tense is tabemasu, and past tense is tabemashita. So I ate a cat, right? And this comes at the end of a sentence. In this case, we have no des because it does, you know, it's not necessary. Now, for a simple like adjective sentence, watashi wa or I am. Wa, see the thing is, some people say wa is equals. Well, I'll give you a sentence and you can tell me what you think. Watashi wa biku, and I'll do it in Japanese. Bikuta desu. Okay, this is the pronunciation. Watashi wa bikuta desu, and I'll do a capital there. Now in this sentence, as you can see, the wa here is pointing back to the subject and saying this becomes a whole subject, right? Watashi wa, and then Victor, am, is it am? Is it am? I don't know. I mean, kind of. Not exactly, right? You know, it's hard to say. It's not exactly is, but this is the standard of saying, this is how we say I am Victor, right? Now, how about just an adjective? I am, watashi wa, well, another noun, America. Jin. Well, let me do it in the proper America Jin desu. I am American, right? America Jin desu. America Jin desu, right? Now there's no C in Japanese. Technically, all those C and K is the same sound. So what's it? Watashi wa America Jin desu. Watashi wa baka desu. I'm American and I'm also stupid. Baka is stupid. Watashi wa baka desu. All these are pretty easy going noun, right? I am Victor. Victor's a noun. I am a noun. I equals Victor. I am American. I am equals, they're both nouns. I equals American. I am American. I am, where is it? I am, right? An idiot. Idiot's a noun. I am a noun, right? So, but when we get to other things like adjectives, watashi wa omoshiroi desu. I am interesting. I am interesting. So again, this is an omoshiroi is interesting. Omoshiroi is interesting. So you know, you can say this is this an is this a which is you know, is this is, well, you know, not exactly, but it's a close equivalent. Now how about this? Let's see. Inu ga. Let's do a person. Okay. Okay. Ona no ko ga iru. This is a very simple sentence. There is a girl. Ona no ko. Ona means woman. Ko is child. Ona no ko would be young girl. Ga iru. Right? Ona no ko ga iru. Iru in this case would be exist. Exist used for humans. Right? Let's see. En pitsu ga aru. In this case, we don't have des again, and we have just a very simple sentence. Have. Enpitsu ga aru. I have a pen. I have a pen. Now, probably some of you have noticed that sometimes I say wa, sometimes ga. They're sometimes interchangeable. Ga is more of a stressor to differentiate between previous subjects and previous sentences. But if you want to point to if the point is of the subject, that, hey man, I got a pen. Pen, pencil, I have a pencil. I don't know, well, this is a pen. Enpitsu, this is actually not a pencil, but enpitsu is pencil. Enpitsu ga aru, I have a pencil. So I'm not really getting anywhere with this answering questions. So what else? Well, I'm going to keep going. This will be a long one, but I'm going to just keep going. This person Jiba asked me about daru, but that's kind of advanced. I would say let's wait on that one. Okay, Mitch san son. So how do you study with these? What I would say is grab your notebook and just follow along, and hopefully you're absorbing what I'm saying. Like when you talk about people, it's iru. When you talk about things, it's aru. There is a person, otoko no ko, young boy, or otoko, man, ga iru. There is a man. Imasu is the more standard. Iru and imasu. Iru is the dictionary. Imasu is the... This is going to take too long. Okay, I just turned off the camera and turned it on again because it's annoying me that this is already 12 minutes long. But you know what? If you're really interested in Japanese, you'll just keep watching, and I apologize. I'll try to be more efficient in the future. So, anyway, let's keep going. Mitch-san Son asked me about an answer for Genki. If someone asks Genki desu ka, can you answer Genki Genki? Or he's telling me you can. Yeah, I agree. You can say Genki Genki. Sometimes people say, you'll find like you'll see girls run up to each other and say Genki 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 Genki. It's repetitive, you know, not a big deal. Okay, Van Grosny, the Chinese speaker, says, do you have a lot of are there a lot of words in Japanese that have the same sound or that have different meanings? Yes, there are. There are many of them. One of them, for example, is ame and ame. And then, of course, why am I writing it that way? I'll write it in kanji so you can see ame, which is rain, right? This is rain. Or we have the other rain, which is, I'm not even sure if I got the kanji right. I'm not sure what they are. I think it's this one, right? Look, they're very different kanjis, but they're pronounced the same. I think it depends on the region of Japan where you are, but in context, you know, ame ga futteimasu, it's raining, or ame o tabetai, I want to eat an ame. Of course, it's either rain or candy. Rain or candy. But they're both pronounced ame, right? So yeah, there are a lot of these. And someone wrote, it's kind of funny, 12 Oranges wrote, these are called, he said homophobe. Homophone, I'm sorry, I'm not homophobe. Homophone, and I think he got 3 thumbs down because I think people think he's saying homophobe. Homophone, I think is, I guess it's the, I think there's another word for it when 2 words sound the same, not just homophone. But anyway, synonym? No, synonym is 2 words that mean the same. Antonym, synonym, homonym. Homonym, that's it. Okay, let's go on. You can see how stupid I am in the morning. I need more coffee. Quick question. Watashi wa bikta desu. Does watashi mean you're referring to yourself? Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. Let's go on. I'm going to go through... Look at the video responses to my last video, by the way. A guy makes a video real quick about the question words, which I'll include right now. Save you a little time. This will help you review next time when I actually do this video. Who is dare? Dare. Who is dare? And I'll do these really quick. Who is dare? And the kanji is rarely used. But if you are interested in the kanji is actually this. dare. And it is used, but I know it. It's not that hard. The other one is nani, or what, right? What is nani? And this is the word for nani. Nani, what? And just so you can appreciate this, the kanji here is this, nani. Okay, now here's the funny thing. Nani can be pronounced nan or nani, depending on the situation. Sometimes it's even like dono. But, it's not exact translation in English. You'll see in the future. Nan, nani, dono. Let's see, let's go on. Another standard one is doko, which is where. And this we have no kanji for this one. We just use hiragana, doko, where. And then we have, I'm sorry, I don't remember who did this original lesson, but you can see it's on my video response. The other one is why, which is itsu, no, that's where, sorry. Why, what am I doing? Now, why is doshite or naze, actually, two answers. So let's fix this. Naze or doshite. And just a second. And this is the hiragana for those of you interested. Naze or doshite. Okay? Naze or doshite. And this is how we say why. Doshite. And actually I would put a little U in there just to get the pronunciation right. Doshite. Yeah. Doshite. Naze. Why. Doshite. Naze. Right? Why. And it depends on the situation. They're slightly different. Not a big deal. Like how. Well, let's forget about that because today's just introduction, right? Itsu is when. Itsu. When. And this one is, he says do for how. Do. But, yeah, again, I would differ on the spelling here. It's like, there's no real rule for spelling, but there's kind of a standard, For the word how would be do, or do, or, but, it depends on the situation, like doyatte would be how did you do that. Doshita no would be what's wrong. So it really depends. Do kind of has other meanings in context, Anyway, that's kind of the introduction to that. Let's go on. We're getting a lot done here. Let me take a pause here and make sure we're recording. Yes, we are recording. I'm going to go through the questions on video number 3. And you'll just have to excuse me if I take long. A lot of thank yous. I really appreciate the comments, guys. Let's see. Okay. Okay, someone asked me how do you say make or create, and that's tsukuru. Tsukuru. Okay? She's very good. By the way, I have to say thank you to Angel 21D. She always answers. Here's something interesting. This guy Genji Sato mentions that I'm making a mistake with when I say, for example, let me give you an example sentence. When I wrote in the last video, watashi, this is not a mistake, it's just an interesting discovery from both of us. Watashi wa it should be bikuta desu. When I make this sentence, watashi wa bikuta desu, right? Watashi wa bikuta desu. Notice that I write HA. And this is the way foreigners write the wa. And let me show you the wa. I'm going to put the wa at the end here so you can see it. This is the hiragana wa, which is of course what Japanese use usually. Now, here's something funny. When foreigners want to write this wa in Romaji, which is something the English alphabet, we use HA, as you can see here. However, when Japanese want to write in the English alphabet, the same thing to refer to this wa, they don't use HA, they use WA. And I never knew this. And apparently he didn't know it either because he's Japanese, Genji Sato. So it's kind of interesting that, yeah. Okay, Daily Journalist says thank you. Watashi wa YouTube ga suki desu. That's correct. The Smithster says that. Let's see. Excuse me. Someone asked about what does gaijin mean? The word gaijin. Gaijin is a word you should know. You just should know. Gaijin means foreigner. Now, many people say gaijin is impolite. And some foreigners get pissed off about this. It's actually gaikokujin is more polite. Gaikokujin is foreigner, but a little more polite. But, you know, gaijin for me is fine. I'm a gaijin. I think it's kind of cool. I'm a gaijin, man. So whatever, you know. But some gaijin get upset, like, hey, don't call me a gaijin. They think it's akin to saying, I don't know, nigger or something. But it's not. It just depends on you. But, you know, you decide whatever you want. I'm not, my videos are not, I'm going to try to just stay out of that kind of discussion because it'll go on forever. Wakadar wants me to do a contest for this stuff. I don't know what kind of contest I would do, Wakadar, but let's see. 私はテレビゲーム Oh, good. 好きです. I like television games. Good. 僕はクラフトワークが好きです. Good. 私はクマが好きです. Good. I like bears. Oh, funny, funny. 私はビクター先生が学科です. I don't know what that means. 私は絵の具が好きです. 絵の具. I don't know. Yeah, so sorry. I don't know what you're saying. Coffee shop punk, but I love your name. Okay. 私は音楽が好きです. I like music. 音楽が好きです. I'm reading through the comments. If you guys want to, as you watch this video, you might want to go to that video, open it up, and read through the comments, and you'll see what I'm referring to, especially if I'm reading kanji here. XA Kirin writes, 私は日本語が好きです. Very good. She says, make harder lessons. Then she says, I know this is rude, but I'm a girl. I always use boku constantly. Yeah, actually, some girls will use boku too. Good point. Thank you, Axkrin, or I don't know how you say him. And Angel 21D also jumps in. There are a lot of tomboys. And I'll just true. Yes, so girls can say boku. Girls can say boku. So good point. But it's kind of a tomboy thing. Emerald Dreamer says, 私は本が好きです. I like books. He didn't add the U at the end, but that's okay. 私は音楽が好きです. I like music. My question, what's the difference between wa and ga? Ooh, can of worms, yes. James C, yes. Big can. There are videos on this. Again, it's a big can of worms. Don't worry about it so much right now, but when you just when you have a simple subject in a sentence, 私は. If you have two subjects, like I said before, I like beer, you know, then you would use ga for the second. 私はビールが好きです. And of course, you don't need to say dash. You can say 好き. 私はビールが好き. So the first wa refers to 私. And biru is pointing to what you actually is receiving the action of ski desu, which is kind of complicated. But ski is not an action; it's descriptive, right? But if, for example, if you were going to say like, oh, like let's say she likes wine, but I like beer. 彼女はワインが好き。でも僕がビールが好き. So when the ga would be kind of a stronger wa, would emphasize the new subject in the new sentence in which you're comparing two things. Again, this is a can of worms, so let's not concentrate too much on that. Just try to get the basic pattern going. Okay? Let's see. So some guy's checking out his Japanese learning book and says, I'm doing okay, I think. Well, everything checks out on my Japanese, but I looked over. Ketsubo. Ketsubo? What's ketsubo? 私は私の彼が好き. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this thing. No. No is kind of equal to apostrophe S, right? So instead of, if I want to say watashi no, if I say watashi no inu, that would just be my dog, right? And if you want to say, is something mine, like casually, is watashi no? Is this mine? Like if you're at a table and there's a lot of beers on the table, a lot of plates, you say watashi no? Watashi, and if you want to be more polite, of course, watashi no desu ka? You know. The Japanese value politeness, especially when people are just learning. So I would say start off with polite Japanese as much as possible, and keep your rough, you know, anime Japanese to yourself until until you're in a situation where you're sure it's okay. Yeah, let me pause the camera to read this. Okay, apparently Volksjagger noticed that I made a typo in the last video and I said gaga in two different places, but I'm pretty sure I didn't make a verbal gaffe. So check out the comment. It's by Volksjagger and it's answered by Angel21D. And she's right, I did make an error. It's just a typo. But very good. She talks about the difference between wa and ga. So if you're interested in that, she says you only use ga when you answer mostly. But like I said, it's not just answering, it's when comparing two different things also. So. But good comment. Again, it's a can of worms, so those of you very interested in that, you can go to the comments and read that. Watashi wa yuki ga suki desu. Yuki ga suki desu. Yuki could be a girl or it could be snow. I don't know. Thanks for your hard work. Sounds great. Also, I was wondering if isn't the particle to like using using and in a sentence. If so, watashi wa samuri do desu to watashi wa spaghetti desu. Huh? I can't understand the question. But, okay, to. Let's just talk about to real quick, because to is really easy. To is one way to say and, right? To equals and. Isn't that great? It's very easy. So let me show you a very simple sentence. Watashi no inu to anata no inu wa tomo. This is a very awkward sentence, but I think you might understand, those of you who know Japanese. Okay, watashi no inu to anata no inu wa tomodachi desu. My dog and your dog are friends. Watashi no inu to anata no inu wa watashi desu. Well, let's do something simple. Watashi wa inu to neko ga suki desu. That's an easier sentence, right? Watashi wa inu to neko ga suki desu. I like dogs and cats. Watashi wa inu to neko ga suki desu. I like dogs and cats. So inu to anyway, that's the point. To in the middle of to just means and. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's see. You can combine that into watashi wa samui rido to spaghetti desu. I don't know what he's trying to say. Samurido. What's a samurido? Samurido. It must be a drink. Anyway, watashi wa internet ga suki desu. Very good. Your pup is real cute. Thank you. Watashi wa Igiris jin desu yo. Anime ga suki desu. Very good. Okay, let's see. Oh, very good. Jamie talks about jibun, the expression jibun, and jibun is another way to say myself. The expression jibun. And the kanji here, for those of you following along, kanji is this. And this is another way to say myself. But actually, because, you know, like I just said in Japanese, my is kind of not always part of the sentence. Jibun actually means self. But, jibun ga, right? But in Osaka and in Nagoya too, I've heard often jibun being referred to yourself. Like you, jibun wa would be and yourself. So it depends on the context. Again, if you're not sure, just point to your nose and say watashi. Watashi desu ka, which means me. Watashi desu ka? Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? Okay. Very good. So, good. Let's go on. Halfway down through the videos here. Let's see. Justin, amazing. One of the 5 awesome drunks is going to order beer. Boku no okusan ga suki. I like my mom. Okay. Let's see. Okay, a lot of thank you. Sorry if I'm being an idiot, but when is ga used? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of questions about ga. Again, please don't ask yet. Maybe I should just concentrate on that in 2 lessons. I'll look into it really well so I can explain it very easily. Oh, here's another participle particle. Mo equals to. Okay. So if you want to say me too, you say watashi mo. Watashi mo, me too. Okay. Okay, watashi mo, me too. Okay, so I like beer too would be just like while 42 says, yeah, watashi mo biiru ga suki desu. Watashi mo biiru ga suki desu. Okay? Okay, watashi wa gatsukido anata no desu. I don't know what that means. And this guy speaks Spanish. Hablo español. Okay. Lots of great comments. Thanks a lot. You guys don't have to comment on this video, or if you want to, just say you watched it. One thing I ask people to do is just write circle, C-E-R-C-L. Just means came, enjoyed, rated, commented, left. Just if you have nothing to say. Okay. Okay, remember suimasen and sumimasen, the difference between these two. I did this before, but just to review. The first is formal, and the second is casual. And you usually don't use the formal because it's just nicer. Sumimasen and suimasen. Notice there's no M in the second word. Let's see. I think that's it. Boku wa biru ga suki desu. Okay. I think I actually finished. This is going to be a long video, but those of you who are really interested in improving your Japanese, you'll get there, okay? Making sure there's nothing else here. Omae-san, yeah, otaku. Someone asked me about the word otaku and how to say it in English. I got a lot of questions. Otaku is, in Japanese, is kind of a negative, you know? Otaku is kind of like a lonely boy, nerd who has no life, you know? But I think in English it might have more of a positive meaning for you guys. A lot of you guys think it's cool to be otaku. I don't know. Let's see. Any more questions? I usually do my best to. Chuhai. Chuhai is a kind of drink in Japan. Norse Hawk says I like chuhais. Watashi wa chuhai ga suki desu. Gaski, but there are no chuhai is kind of like a it's kind of a it's an alcoholic soda in the easiest way. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Chotto suimasen ga. Okay, here's a good one. Here's another thing you can pick up. Chotto suimasen ga. Excuse me. When you want to ask someone a question, say chotto sumimasen ga. Again, you don't have to do the M. Just knock out the M. Suimasen ga. Chotto suimasen ga. May I interrupt or may I? Let's see. Nihongo Noob is made of a particle video, so go check out that one. Squashy Johnson says I like schoolgirl uniforms. That's nice. Seifuku's schoolgirl uniforms. Okay. Yeah. Okay. C Chom talks about C Chom mentioned that when he was in Japan, he didn't really hear sumimasen. He heard sumimasen, sumimasen, sumimasen. So yeah, it's very quick. Like I said in the last video, we don't really hear like arigato gozaimasu, arigatou gozaimasu, arigatou gozaimasu, and sumimasen, sumimasen. So I can't like really. I say sumimasen, sumimasen. Okay. Higose and food. I don't know what he's saying. Balberto59 says he heard some expressions. I don't know what he's trying to say. I said so. If you guys have questions about specific words that I say that I didn't explain, write the exact time. Otherwise, I'm not going to have any idea what you're talking. Boku no hatsukoi, which means my first love. Boku no my first love, hatsukoi. He writes that shouldn't yo be used after beer with ga? No. Yo. Well, actually, here's the thing. Osuki is actually very common among young people. Okay, but it's technically wrong, and most Japanese teachers will kick your ass for doing it. Right? Gasuki is standard. Okay, so watashi wa biru ga suki. Wo is usually used as an object of something you're going to do an action to, like I said before, like ame o taberu, I'm going to eat candy. Now this is a stupid sentence, but ame o taberu, I'm going to eat candy, because you're eating the candy actually. But biru ga suki, well, if you say biru wo nomu, that's okay, because you're going to drink the beer. Biru o nomu, nomu is drink, nomimasu, nomu, nomimashita. But ga is used, you're not really doing anything by liking it, you know, it's just kind of a feeling. So biru ga suki is standard. Okay? A lot of answers here. Watashi wa ame ga suki desu. Anata wa ame ga suki desu ka? I love your videos, I love your Japanese, thank you very much. Let's say this is a great video. Let's say watashi wa eiga ga suki. I like movies. Watashi no yona no onanoko. I like a girl. Okay, good. This is a mistake. If you look in the Japanese dictionaries, you'll see yona, which is like also, but this is not like as in I like you. This is looks like, right? So for example, boku no yona otoko or hito. Let's do simple. A person like me. Boku no yona. Let's do otoko. I'm a man, so boku no yona otoko. Boku no yona hito, a person like me. This yona here, this yona that we're talking about here, is like me, not I like you. It's similar to, like. Okay. So let's see. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm not going to apologize for the long lesson. If you're interested, you'll watch. If not, you won't. Thanks again for all the questions, and in the future, this is what it's going to be like. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.